welcome back to the Sound Alchemy podcast, the place we're going to be talking about, well, many of the things that makes music enjoyment so impossible in today day and age. And today we're going to be having this stupidly important conversation, may I say, revolving around the concept of should you own your stuff? Mm-hmm. Because I remember a few years ago, maybe around 5 years ago, time truly flies, in which something was going on around the world. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, American elections only, among many other things. In which during that period, there was an ad doing the rounds saying that you'll own nothing, and you'll be happier than ever. And we're kind of in the future at this point.
Do you feel happier than ever?
Well, that's a question open for everybody, and I would say, I for one, I feel more pissed off than usual, which is already remarkable.
It's an accomplishment in and of itself.
So today we're going to be having this discussion regarding the concept of ownership and what to do about it. And, well, before we continue with this conversation, please introduce yourself, show some manners, goddammit.
So, hello girls and boys, how's it going? I'm very glad to be back, and it's great to have you here as well. And I think the conversation is actually going to be a little bit broader than that. I think the whole notion of owning your music is going to be a part of it. But also stemming all over the idea of spending money in music. Not only necessarily music as the media itself, but on all things music. Because if it's something that allegedly holds value to you, why wouldn't you invest on it as well?
It's not just the concept of subscriptions, because that could be the most the first obvious choice, right? And here just left a super chat. Thank you, Joss.
Thanks, man.
He won't be able to make it for the live show, but regardless, he dropped a comment and I will address it right away. He's saying that buy new material from independent artists and borrow, copy, or download, obviously, from legit sources, I may add.
Reputable.
I think. Old music. I agree. Because we already have this conversation before on different episodes in which we discussed the notion of is it possible for a new artist to break through when Kiss is never hitting the stages? That's a conversation for another day, but yes. And I think that's not necessarily a bad thing to do. Because you can borrow. I can lend you one of my copies of Dream Theater's music.
You can indeed.
And you can enjoy it.
And
you do whatever you want, because for as long as I get my copy back.
No harm, no foul.
Exactly. I don't know, for as long as you didn't use it in dubious ways, I wouldn't be.
I would never.
Of course not.
How even dare you?
Of course. And here Roman is saying, how's it going, man?
Hey, Roman.
He began with a bang. Concerts are too expensive these days. I agree.
That's actually true, man.
That's very, very much a reality.
That's actually not something that I was considering for us to speak in this conversation. But let's start there. Now that you brought it up,
because you got excited by a few announcements, right? Earlier this year.
The thing is that there are plenty of different acts, kinda being revived. There's a very active necromancer doing the rounds.
That's going out of fashion, man, because somehow it's bringing everybody back from the dead.
And I think next year is actually gonna be a very active year when it comes to the live music industry.
But from Legacy Acts.
All Legacy Acts, and also this that Roman is mentioning is a very it's a constant. Also in all of those shows that are being announced.
Way more expensive than before.
It is indeed. But also is a very pinpointed statement on who their target audience is. Not any new people, only the same people who have been enjoying that kind of music for the last decades.
If we use the marketing the marketing terminology. Because they are capitalizing on the nostalgia factor. So the thing, the origin for this conversation was a conversation we had in the morning while planning out the day here in the studio. I was sharing with Diego something that I saw yesterday on X. There is a Toyota model. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's a Prius, one of those Priuses, which is probably the most successful car they got right now.
This is one of the first electric cars that actually got on very, very hardly.
So, in that car, when you buy it, you have access to... that's really the problem. When you buy it, the car comes with plethora of different functions, including one that allows you to use your phone as a key rather than using the fob. Or the key itself to turn it on and off and remotely control the car to a certain degree, right? It also has access to built-in Spotify. Don't know how it works, but it has some built-in Spotify stuff. And also some form of plan that allows you to connect to the internet on your car. First and foremost, why would you need the internet on your phone? That's really kind of weird. On your car, sorry.
Yeah.
That's what you got your phone for, right? And also the navigation functions. The thing is this. I said it grants you access the first year. Because after the first year is over, now you have to subscribe in order to keep using the functions that came with the car you allegedly bought. So that opened up this huge kind of a conversation in the morning. And we ended up deciding, well, let's talk about this, but focusing on music.
Yes.
So, what's the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to ownership and music in today's day and age? Do you own music?
I own some, not a lot, because I still, at this point in time, am ashamed to announce that I use mostly Apple Music as my source of music consumption.
Change cameras.
So yeah, I plan on changing that in the near future, but for now that's still true. But I think that's true most people actually.
Not necessarily, not me.
Well, not you doesn't mean not most people.
Look! Do you know what that is?
That's a Whitesnake album.
Yeah, it is. It's a CD.
Yeah.
Actually, you can still rock those bad boys. And the thing is this. I'm up to here because Thursday I got a notification on my phone that I need to pay for my Apple Music subscription.
Do you?
Yeah, because of course, it's not that I am going through many problems right now, financially speaking. But the thing is this. When I saw that I had to pay again, like, how much money have I spent in this shit? I was one of the first early adopters for the Apple Music subscription.
Yeah.
Back in 2014, if I recall correctly. Basically more than 10 years. So that means that I've been subscribing to that particular service for 10 years at least.
Yeah.
Paying adamantly each month. Something in the likes of $10 to $12. I did the math and I realized that I have spent more than $1,000.
Yes. Probably closer to
1,500.
Yes.
Very close to it. And then I'm pissed off because I'm still unable to listen to freaking Journey. As the Lonely. Because they are still fighting. Whoever owns the freaking rights to that freaking song on streaming hasn't come to terms with Spotify yet. So I haven't been able to listen to that freaking song in the entirety of this year. And when I spent $1,000+, basically $1,500 on it.
Yeah.
I then checked how much is it for one of these pieces of junk. They are usually, and they're cheaper than ever. Because, well, I did some research regarding this.
Yep.
And they are cheaper because although the demand is lower, the whole R&D, the research and development behind
It's already been covered ages ago. Yeah.
Ages ago. And also technology has allowed for much more better and improved ways to produce this. So these are cheaper now. You're usually going to be spending $8 to $12 per unit.
Yes.
And most of the time it's 8. And that's if you go for a new piece. If you go for used ones, man, you can get like 8 for at $10.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
So that begs the question: what was the point?
Because in the end, you spent more money. You didn't even.
And I don't own shit.
Yeah.
I'm still at the mercy of whoever owns the rights to the songs.
Yes.
That's terrible. Plus the fact that I need to have an internet connection if I want to listen to music, not my music.
Yeah.
So with that being said, and being up to here and being the goddamn expert that I am, I said, F it.
Enough.
Enough. I'm enough. So I started off my quest, and I can't believe that I'm going to say this, but I once again started to get music from the internet. After I don't know how many years, probably 50 years. I can't believe it, but I am. And why am I telling you this? There is fun in the thrill of the hunt.
There is, yes.
Because I realized that, wait a second, if I have spent $1,700 on music that I don't own, I think it's fair for me to claim ownership. It's a good transaction.
Yes.
Am I morally incorrect? Would you attack that premise from a moralistic, ethical perspective? Because I couldn't, during my Socratic method sessions, trying to analyze what I just said and trying to find some form of evil doing in my ways.
You couldn't find it.
No.
I think that there's some high degrees of almost Olympic levels of of mental gymnastics to allow for such reasoning. But I'll grant you that, given the fact that you already spent way more than you would if you were buying the physical media, to not owe anything, can be seen, perhaps allegedly, as a potential good argument to procure music in a different way. One that is a little bit more controversial, perhaps.
Controversial for some. Because, look at me, Mr. Relativist.
Yeah.
No, because the thing is this. Think about this. You paid for the service
Yes.
under the auspices of listening to the music you like.
Yeah.
The service is not providing you with the music you want. They provide you the music that they tell you they want you to listen to, when in reality you subscribe because you wanted to listen to freaking Journey. They remove Journey. I'm not getting what I'm paying for.
Yeah.
I don't care for Sabrina Carpenter,
Yeah.
as usual. So that means that I'm gonna claim what is mine. Am I incorrect?
Ahoy.
Ahoy, Corsairs!
We have a comment there.
Yes. So the Roman is saying, my niece is 12 years old, and she asked me for a record player. Look at that. We will make recommendations for that. But actually, record player and records from First Harmony. Don't know me near, man. Don't ask me. It might be Fifth Harmony. Do you know?
Fifth Harmony. I heard the name. I think it's one of the new.
Korean?
I don't think it is. I think it's that brand of pop, but it's not Korean pop. I think it's regular pop. But
Pop, like bubblegum kinda.
yeah, but those group pops.
Okay, like boy band?
Yeah, but the girl.
Girl band?
Is it a girl? No, I
Who
don't
are
know.
we to judge in this day and age, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
This kind of stuff became complicated lately.
So Fifth Harmony, don't know who that is, okay? And I was shocked. She says some of her friends have record players. Hey, look at that!
That's
I
cool.
keep telling you, man, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Zoomers are finally getting it.
Well, this is not necessarily a counter argument to you being crazy or not. It's just
No, it's one of the moments in which I finally hit it. It's not that I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. So look at that.
Yeah.
It's not only me or my ilk, grumpy, pissed off edgelords.
Yeah. Teenage kids that listen to Fifth Harmony
Fifth Element.
are still in it as well.
Look at
Fifth
that.
Element.
Great movie. So why? This is very interesting. Look, proof of what we're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Testament to what we're saying. Why do you think is this happening? Why is people from from a completely different era, totally removed from ownership of this piece of junk? Because I actually have not a big selection because I was poor back in my day, and today is very part of my day to day sixth edition. But I managed to get a good chunk.
Yeah.
I know of people that has hundreds.
Yeah.
I own them because I got into music at the very tail end of this.
Yeah.
Then MP3 happened, Napster. I was there when Horus killed the Emperor.
Yeah.
So, for me, the change in the zeitgeist regarding music consumption, I lived through all of the phases. And even when I began doing this music career thing, it was such a mess, man. Nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, MP3. Yeah, but everybody's gonna steal my shit. Nobody wants to buy it anyway. So why are you even bothered by that? Secondly, MP3. Okay, I got my files, but now it's just streaming. Damn. So now what? And now we're coming back to this full circle, man.
Yeah.
Because record player is not even a file. It's not a DAP. More on that later. Digital audio player. It's not even that. It's records. This.
Yeah.
It's the physicality, man. The fact that you can break the UL case as such. When I bought this guy, it came like this.
It's not you can break. You usually do.
You usually do. It's the rite of passage, man.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this came broken.
Okay.
Because I think this came from Greece.
Okay.
I had to hunt it down like this.
That album's very good, man.
It's such a good album. But look, the whole thing, man.
Probably here's gonna be.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Can your Spotify do this? Look. But everything's
If
badass.
the Spotify gets crashed.
Yeah, look. It's I pay 2 units for the price of 1. And if you put effort, it's 3.
You can make it happen.
You can make it happen, yeah.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So, this physicality, I think, is what is making records attractive for younger generations.
I think that's a part of it. I don't think that's the whole. The thing is that I think we're already into the whole ecosystem of renting stuff or subscriptions and anything like that.
Yes.
We have been at it for a good while now, and we have been at it for long enough to see plenty of the issues that come from it. Not necessarily in music alone, because actually I think people are noticing it more in software, for instance.
Also in politics.
Everywhere. Any way you look at it, you see.
Noticing, get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but look, the whole thing with subscriptions
Yeah.
is becoming a point of convergence of people being fed up, not only in music, in everything.
Yes.
And I think music is simply the people going for CDs now is a symptom on how they feel about this phenomenon of subscriptions, not necessarily inside of music.
No.
Because, for instance, these kids that Roman's niece, she never lived through this.
No.
She's probably getting her first introduction into handling music as something physical
Owning, I think.
Owning music.
It's even is the most important part.
for the first time now.
Yeah.
But she probably felt something similar to this phenomenon in other stuff before.
Yeah.
Let's say games or
Music. Movies.
movies or something like that. So I think this is not something exclusive to music.
No.
But maybe music is one that suffered most from the non-physical approach
Agreed, man, because
to consumption.
totally, man, because if you think about it, when people bought these things back in my early teens, no, it was early when I was still a kid.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I remember, not fondly, it's just a memory. Somebody,
Not a good one.
one of the kids in my secondary school got. It was the first one to get a copy of Chocolate Starfish. Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
And everybody got around. Wow, he got it first. Like, on a hindsight, like, man, I was truly stupid kid. But it was time.
Yeah.
The thing is that everybody was kind of like it had some form of community building element to it.
Yeah.
Because you could see everybody was passing around the art, the booklet,
Yeah.
commenting on the art, the lack of artwork,
Yeah.
or wherever passes by us. And everybody was talking about the same songs that you heard on MTV.
Yeah.
There was some form of community building aspect to it that with digital streaming, not even downloads, because
Yeah.
with downloads, with the iTunes Times was kind of still similar because there was some if you were into music and you had people around your circle that were into music as well, there was always this kind of excitement whenever a new album got dropped.
Yeah.
Here Roman is saying, according to ChatGPT, asking the question, are vinyl sales still increasing? And the answer was, continuing one of the more surprising comebacks of the digital age, vinyl album sales in the US increased for the 18th consecutive year in 2024. God bless America.
Look, before we reach Roman's comment, let me
Yes.
just address what you said because I think there's something interesting going on there.
Go.
What were you saying?
I was talking about being stupid as a kid.
Oh yes,
And
no,
Limp Bizkit.
no. You were talking about how music used to be and it should be an expression of individuality, because you went to the CD store, you didn't buy everything because you didn't have the money
You
to buy
couldn't
everything.
buy it. It was a conscious
It
decision.
was a very conscious decision based on what? Based on your taste.
Yeah.
Based on your interest.
How often did that happen to you? Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
You went there looking for chocolate starfish. You go there for Limp Bizkit.
Talking about stupid kid, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, of course. And then you hear somebody talking to another guy. Have you heard Images and Words? What's that? Dream Theater. Wow. Is it good? Man, it's fantastic. Like, it's cheaper than Limp Bizkit. Let's give it a try.
Might as well.
And your life is better after.
Your life has changed after that. Yeah, indeed.
Sometimes that happens to me as well, man.
Yeah, no, it happens.
I got convinced by people talking.
Yeah.
And that allowed me to get in, especially when I was younger, when I was stupider. I saved plenty of stupid decisions based on my terrible taste in music. My taste in music was based on what was shown to me, man.
Yeah.
So MTV was king back in the early 2000s. So every time the very few times that I had a chance to buy CDs, I always I got stopped twice from buying shit by conversations on the store.
That's something that should happen more often.
Yeah, it should, man.
Because look, this is that you mentioned your taste in music at an introduction level is dictated by what you know,
Yeah.
what you're exposed
You
to.
don't know how far and how deep the rabbit hole actually goes.
Yeah, because of course, then later on you're gonna go your own route, right? But
Yes.
at the beginning, we're all like that. We are only at the mercy of what we're exposed
Powers
to.
that be. May
Then, now that things are way more, well, monolithic,
yeah.
think of Spotify or Netflix or any of those, they work the same way. What's the most seen TV show right now?
I think Stranger Things, isn't it?
Is whatever it is on the front page of on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's the most seen TV show.
Good point.
The
I
most
can see why.
listened to music right now is whatever is
It's
first
the-
prompted when you open Spotify.
Yes.
So basically,
Totally organic.
yeah, very organic.
Very organic.
So basically, it's the death of individuality because
Agree.
there's no mark of the individual in the input of what's actually consumed. It's simply what you're being exposed to.
Good point.
And there's no activity from the perspective of the listener in actually making an input
There's
on,
no
on that
choice.
moment. Yeah.
It's just illusion, but in reality, you're choosing nothing.
Because allegedly, let's say on any of the subscription services, Apple Music or Spotify,
Yes.
you have access to an infinite amount of music. So now you have more choices than ever before, but you don't make those choices. So
No.
what's the freaking point then?
Good point. Yeah, exactly, man. You gotta truly dig around. For example, I don't know if I ever shown to the audience how I use my Apple Music. We didn't set up for it, so I won't be able to show you the screen. But basically speaking, what I do with it is I still use it as iTunes. I never use the Apple Music search function.
Yeah.
I simply, when Apple Music got started, I went in and added all of the music that I care for to my library,
Yeah.
thinking that we finally achieved the utopian dream. It's equality for all. Yeah, because everybody's starving now. So I thought that I finally got the albums that I cared for forever. So okay, it's a fair price because I'm gonna enjoy these albums forever.
Yeah.
So paying a monthly fee makes sense, right? How wrong was I?
Yeah.
Because I didn't think, sorry, look at that, words are hard. I didn't think that they will start ownership battles for the rights of distribution for the music that I love.
Yeah.
So I never use the search function of Apple Music. I still use it, and even up to this day, I never go for Apple Music. I go straight to my library
Yeah.
because I simply add my stuff, and I listen to stuff that I care for.
Yeah.
Of course, I use the the discovery function, just to find. Every week I give it a try, just to see what's going on, right? Because allegedly the algorithm is gonna be intelligent enough for it to show me stuff that will be related to stuff that I already listened to. And since I liked it, saved it, and added a star wherever they add today to the tracks and the albums, it's a little bit more curated, right?
Yeah.
It's very hit and miss, but still, it's a thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad function,
No.
because not everything about Apple Music is terrible, or Spotify for that matter. The thing is that you see how different it is from the vast majority of people's uses.
Yeah.
Because people, when they explain to me how they use Spotify, they never save anything.
Yeah.
It's just they look for it. How can you develop a taste in music if you have to look for it every freaking time?
And look, this actually takes me to something that more and more has become clear to me. Because for the longest of time, I was kind of pissed off with Spotify and Apple Music and this kind of stuff. But in all honesty, I don't think they are necessarily bad propositions. What is bad in how things developed was the way that they were adopted as the only way to listen to music.
Yes.
Because honestly, the way that you mentioned, for instance, having those kind of services as tools for the discovery of music, because you can have access to music that you don't necessarily want to buy yet,
Yeah.
because you don't know yet. Let's say you're just kind of going experimenting.
Yeah.
But let's say then you found something of value to you, then buying it and creating, let's say, a library that when you go for your music listening moments, you don't necessarily go to Discover, you go to your library, because that's the kind of the stuff that you like to listen
Yeah.
to. And you have the kind of best of both worlds approach.
Yes.
But how many people actually does this?
Of course, very few. But we are praising and promoting the ownership of music. Why are we promoting the use of services like this? Easy. If you think about it, this grants you the right, morally speaking, to sail the high seas
Yeah.
once per month, only once, of course.
Yes.
So you can get what you spend money on, which is the music that you like. Nobody, no harm.
Would that hold up in court? I think it's unlikely.
I think it will. The kid's right.
Throw the kid a bone.
Also, who is the void of sin?
Roman is dropping some comments there.
You're saying.
Yeah.
Mechanical vinyl on eBay is in first shape, goes for $20. God damn.
Yeah.
Brand new is $50 and up. Yeah. And actually, this morning I was telling Thiago, I'm already. In the near future, there will be a little bit of an expansion here in the studio, a tiny expansion, may I say. And part of the stuff that I'm envisioning is the creation of a Atmos room, not for mixing purposes, but for music listening. Why? Because, spoiler alert, I'm gonna build an Atmos mixing rig soon. The thing is this: I wanna be able to understand first how Atmos mixes sound in regular systems, not in a freaking professional environment.
Yeah, consumer level.
Yeah, consumer level, full on. So I already have my eyesight on a particular equipment. Don't remember the name. I have it on my phone. If time allows for it, I will share some of the pics that I have and recommendations. And I for the last few weeks I've been digging around, finding scouting. What's the name of this? Amazon. Looking for the Atmos mixes for the records.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I created a buying list on Amazon, containing all of the records that I found that I care for.
Yeah.
That have a mix in Atmos. Would you believe that they're cheaper than CDs? Because you can get the Atmos Blu-ray, the stereo mix, and usually they come with an extra piece of media. For example, in the case of I told you about the one from Jethro Tull, Living in the Past.
Yeah.
The name of the booklet, which is actually a book, is Still Living in the Past.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah.
It comes with 6 discs. One of them is the Blu-ray containing the
Atmos mix.
The Atmos mix, and also it comes with a never released before concert, the stereo mix.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is that the stereo mix you get is not a remaster. It's the one coming out of the Atmos mix. Why is that important? Glad that you didn't ask. Full on nerd head on. The thing is this. One of the shows that we got in one of the in the music appreciation channel is my reactions and my analysis of music. And one of the things that I always try to draw your attention towards is dynamic range. Dynamic range. And that stands for the relationship between the quiet parts with the higher parts in volume throughout time. Okay? When something is quiet, it's much more intimate. When something is louder, it's much more exciting and punchy. As easy as that. And the interaction between both makes music feel alive and consistent. And dynamically speaking, consistent. Okay, with that being said, during the early 2000s, people started to crank up the volume out of music as loud as they could. And we reached the point in which That Magnetic is considered to be the loudest album by Metallica. The loudest album ever.
It still is?
It still is. It's big. It's basically the jump in the shark moment in the music industry. So yeah, they're like, man, we can't. This is outrageous. I think even people sued Metallica because they fucked up with their systems. It was that loud.
Damn.
So wherever, I might be wrong on that one, but I heard that heard it through the grapevine. Credence, reference. But Atmos, when you mix for Atmos, you have to mix it at a super low volume compared to the top, which grants you huge dynamic range. If you get the stereo mix of an album that you like, that it's part of the Atmos package, huge chances are that you're gonna get the highly dynamic stereo mix, which is the one that you care for.
Just probably a piece of explaining that would allow this to make a little bit more sense. In the process of mixing an Atmos track, you actually have to mix it
Quiet.
No, in stereo first.
Yes.
Yeah, because you don't mix in Atmos.
But you do mix in Atmos, but I know what I mean.
It's a post-process, it's a post-render. So the mixing has to be done from the ground up, thinking in Atmos, but it happens in stereo first.
That's a train of thought. That's the one I subscribe to. The things that nobody knows how to do it yet.
Yeah.
So, but that's the most commonly agreed upon my peers. Yes.
So that's why you have the stereo mix based on the Atmos mix.
Yes. So usually, and from what I have heard, for example, ABC's Lexicon of Love is a fantastic record from the 80s. A beautiful sounding record, mind you.
Yeah.
And great music, by the way. That one, the re-release of the album, latest re-release, was remixed by Steven Wilson, Porcupine Tree fame, because he also did the Atmos mix.
Yeah.
Out of the four versions of the Lexicon of Love that I have heard in my life, I happen to fancy the best this stereo version by Steven Wilson.
The stereo out of the Atmos.
Out of the Atmos.
Yeah.
Because it's the one with the highest dynamic range. And it's the one I showed you.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound amazing?
It sounds excellent.
It blows your head off, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
incredible. Why? Because the album was beautifully recorded.
Yeah.
And Steven Wilson was like, let me just rebalance it. That's it. There's nothing that I gotta do, to
Yeah.
be very frank. So he's like,
It's all there already,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
already there, man. So, yeah. And the Atmos mix, I heard it on headphones, but headphones has its limitations. Sounds very good. And that's actually the meta. Being very honest when it comes to mixing on Atmos, because the vast majority of people blasting Atmos stuff is through AirPods.
Yeah.
I want to listen to it on the proper Atmos rig.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose of me building that particular room.
Yeah.
But once that's in motion, I will let you know. But all in all, it's very important for you to truly take care or pay attention to the quality of the sound that you're listening to, not just the gear, because we're gonna get into this.
Yeah.
Because now that we covered the whole notion of ownership, let's move a little bit on.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got this shit. How can I put it into? That doesn't work. So first, let me address this comment.
Yeah.
From what you're saying. I had a friend who worked for Dolby, and the joke was, both better sound through marketing. Yeah. Now it seems that it's what Dolby is doing with Atmos. I hear the equipment is expensive for it. Let's analyze that, because you are not incorrect. First and foremost, let's clarify a bit of the misunderstanding and lies surrounding the whole Atmos thing. Okay, first, Atmos. What is Atmos? Unlike surround sound, which is 5.1, which stands for 5 speakers surrounding you. Two at the center, two at the front, of course. One in the center, left, right, center, and then you got the rears, left and right. And then you got the 0.1, which is the subwoofer.
Yeah.
Usually, or all the way down to today, movies have always been mixed under that standard.
Yeah.
Then technology kept developing and Atmos happened, or something similar to Atmos, which is the one that we start to use the digital sound on movies.
Yeah.
I don't know right now the terminology, the marketing terms that Dolby adapted, because the THD, well, you tell me which one that is, but the one that is not Dolby, but it's on their movies. Okay.
Yeah.
When you go to movie theater and you either see Dolby or they want THX.
THX, yeah.
Yes. Both of them develop very similar technologies, different approaches. The one that is being adopted for music is Dolby. Now, Atmos, unlike surround sound, works usually with 7.4.1.
Way more speakers.
Way more speakers, which stands for this: left, right, front, center, side 1, side 2. I feel like an air attendant, like flight attendant, and 2 rears,
Yes.
giving you 7.
Yeah.
4, what's the 4? Ceiling. You got speakers on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And the 0.1 or 0.2, depending on how big your system is the bass.
Subwoofers.
The subwoofers, the thing's this. When mixing on surround systems, you will be using something that is called an LFO, unlike the ones found on a synthesizer. You will have to divide or tell the system which frequencies are going to be sent exclusively to the subwoofer, while the rest are going to distribute it. It's not LFO, it's LF something. I'm not quite keen with terminology at this point. The thing is this: Atmos, the file that you deliver once you finish the mix, is capable of detecting the amount of outputs of the system in which it's being played back at the moment. So, if your system is comprised of 5.1, you're still rocking a surround setup, Atmos will adapt itself to distribute the mix through the output, the amount of channels you got at your disposal.
It's quite impressive.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And to a very good degree of success.
The translation happens without...
You don't realize it, and it's usually I haven't heard one that sucks. And the same applies to headphones. all of those headphones are capable of dealing with Atmos.
Yeah.
When you play the Atmos rendition, the renderer analyzes what kind of system you're rocking,
Yeah.
and will adapt the mix to work on the headphones you're working on. So that means that if you release a record on Atmos, regardless of the system, it will translate. And then you probably have seen those soundbars that claim to be Atmos, but you're, what makes them Atmos?
How can it be Atmos?
How can it be? It's just a soundbar and a buffer, if I'm lucky. Physics and psychoacoustics.
The sheer might of
The
physics.
sheer might of science, bitch. Yes, why? Because those systems are using the geometry of your room to blast audio signals that are in accord to the distribution of the Atmos system, the Atmos mix, for them to be bounced back out of the geometry of your room to convey the illusion of you owning the speakers and having them distribute across your room. Do they work? You have heard the HomePods, man.
Yeah.
The big HomePods actually have Atmos built in.
Yeah.
They do work.
They do work. Of course, I imagine I haven't listened to music on a full-on
Me neither.
7.4.2 system yet. I imagine it's gonna be better, of course, but it's actually kind of impressive.
Yeah, I have heard those mixes translated into 5.1, but never 7.4.
Yeah.
And the ones and I own those HomePods, the big ones, and they have Atmos. They work, man.
They work indeed. And it's kind of impressive, and I can't fathom the mathematics that go into making that thing work.
Yes.
Because the whole thing with the cancellations, no, it's it's insane.
Yeah. Now you have an idea how this works. Like,
Yeah, no, heads off to whoever devised that
that's
thing.
a mad lad.
Yes, indeed.
Incredible. So, for a good while, I thought that Atmos was a fad. To be very honest, making a living out of mixing music, I truly thought that Atmos was just the next Quadraphonic. Or the next Super Audio CD. Okay? But then I realized that Atmos music comes as a default on any iPhone released in the last 5 years. Ever since Atmos was introduced to Apple Music, every iPhone, MacBook, iPad, what else am I missing? That's it.
I think that covers it.
Comes with Apple Music pre-installed with Atmos on by default.
Yeah.
And which one is the most popular headset around, or earbuds around? The AirPods, which are Atmos ready.
Yes.
So, little by little, people are getting accustomed to the sound of Atmos.
They're switching the standards
Little by
little into that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what does that mean? I think we already crossed the Rubicon in the whole mixing game. We can't, as a mixer, we can't stick to our guns and say, nah, it's just a fad. It is not. And plenty of the major acts are moving, are really launching their stuff in Atmos now. Why? Because people are buying it. People are listening to it. There is a market for it. Now, regarding the question of how expensive it is, I'm not going to tell you that you're incorrect, because you're not. Atmos is not necessarily cheap. An Atmos rig, but a good pair of Atmos ready headphones is not. The problem is that usually the only options you get are wireless, and wireless sucks. Why? Let me explain. We're gonna get into the gear.
Okay, let's get to it.
From what you know, how would you describe it? Let me address this comment before you answer back. Roman is asking. So now, when you mix a record, you have to have to account for Atmos. Does this mean stereo is going to fade out? Good question. Actually, very good question. No, stereo will never die. Because stereo, well, what happened to mono?
Still around?
Where? Every freaking nightclub.
Yes.
You need to still make sure that your mixes, especially when you're working on electronic music or dance music for that matter, has to be mono compatible. Why? Because systems, big installation systems, particularly for dance floors, tends to be mono. Why? You are everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You don't have a proper stereo perspective.
There's not a sound stage to be created because a mess.
Look at that! Somebody actually works in a recording studio. God damn it! Yes, there is no sound stage.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Well, actually impressed. Well done. A proper use of look at that. It shows that you went to CLA. Yeah. Well, damn! Wow, impressive.
Yeah.
So no, it's not gonna fade out. I'm being very frank. The vast majority of the records that every single one of us love, not the vast majority, every single one of them, were produced, developed, and worked on with a stereo in mind.
Yeah.
So no, it will never fade away. The thing is that Atmos has plenty of chances for it to become very good.
You know, honestly, I do think that the proposition for Atmos is actually a good one.
It is.
I think that it's still on the very early days of Atmos.
Yeah.
We've seen a few good Atmos mixes around,
And
a few
some-
gimmicky ones,
Yeah.
but I think basically everything when it comes to Atmos is still to come.
Yes.
Because it allows for a degree of even creativity and expressivity from the mixer perspective, that music is still gonna be created on the auspices of Atmos. Because nowadays everything that we're seeing is just the
Stereo.
remixes of stuff that has already been done
Yeah.
under the auspices of stereo.
Correct.
I think it's gonna be interesting seeing, let's say, the
got
next
the-
5 years.
You got already a great example for it. Peter Gabriel's.
Yes,
I.O.
indeed,
His
indeed.
latest album, I.O., very good album. I gotta say. Well, Peter Gabriel fanboy.
Yeah.
That album was very good. He released it. Look at this. If you think the series down, look, he released it as a bright side mix and dark side mix.
Yeah.
Both of them stereo. Why? Because full and artistic.
Yeah.
He hired 3 mixing engineers without any form of communication between the 3.
So 3 completely different mixes.
Yes, 2 of them were stereo, and 1 of them was the Atmos one. So, the Atmos mix on earbuds or the big ones, the AirPods, sounds very good, amazing. But from the digging around that I did, I could learn that he actually developed the whole album
Envisioning this. Yeah.
as an Atmos mix.
And it's probably the first one, or one of the first
Probably
ones to
one
do
of the
it.
first one to truly be concerned with the sound of developing the music in a way that will translate beautifully into Atmos as well.
Yes.
Does that mean that the stereo mix sucks? No, man, it's incredible. Literally, I was blasting it here when we were setting up for a cello session,
Yeah.
and my friend, the cello guy, was like, "Who is that? It sounds incredible." It's Peter Gabriel. God damn.
Yes.
No, it's
He still got it.
He's-
Yeah, still got it. Man.
Yes, so here Roman is saying. So now the old records will need to be remastered to Atmos to keep up with times. Yes, it's already happening, man.
Yeah.
It's already happening. As far as I know, or as far as I have found, Jethro Tull is already remixing their stuff to Atmos.
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd as well, little by little, because
Yeah.
you can get, obviously, the Dark Side of the Moon
Yeah.
and Animals, incredibly enough, on Atmos.
Momentary lapse of reason.
A momentary lapse. Yeah. Well, at least they went for Animals, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing they need, but man, the wall would be freaking amazing.
Yeah.
It could justify its existence finally.
Yeah, because the wall is a little bit more adventurous
It's
in
way
nature.
too. It's a movie, man. So it's not
So,
it's a soundtrack. So
yeah.
it could be incredible.
Indeed.
The same could go for metal.
Mm.
At least Echoes was like
Yeah.
that section was
Yeah.
like.
Because look,
God damn.
a comment on that Atmos, because now actually some of the Atmos mixes that I enjoyed the most were actually some that played very conservatively.
Yes.
They weren't trying to make the Atmos thing apparent. What they end up delivering is simply a way better fleshed out sense of atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
It feels a little bit more immersive.
Yeah, from the music that is properly mixed, the mixes that are
Yeah.
kind of getting the standard,
Yeah.
setting the way we should do it.
Because it's not about the gimmick of
No,
having.
yeah.
Because there was one that we actually commented upon in the very beginning, early days of Atmos, the one by Tiesto.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of the
Boom.
song. Huh?
It's boom boom.
Boom Boom. Is an.
It's amusing.
Is the gimmicky take on the Atmos concept. Is very well done because actually he's good at what he does.
Yes.
It sounds very good, but I think Atmos has a lot more potential
More than that.
simply doing the rounds.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, because I think the true power of Atmos lies in being able to be even more immersive.
Agreed. And here a follow up to the first comment from Roman. He first said, so now all the old records will need to be remastered as Atmos to keep up with the times. Yes, it's happening. I already mentioned that. And the question following up is this: and if so, won't that bring the price of music up? It brings the price of the production of records up. It shouldn't be translated to the consumer.
It shouldn't, but it will.
Not necessarily, man, because the market is dictating. They have to make this thing affordable so they can compete and make a good case for you to buy the DVD rather than rather than paying the subscription.
Spotify, yeah.
So if you wanted a reason to kind of be happy about that, is that the subscriptions are so goddamn cheap that for them to be competitive, they will have to make them highly competitive. And how do I know? Because I already told you, you can get the Dark Side of the Moon. I think is they are asking $35 for it.
Okay.
Is
The
the
Atmos.
Blu-ray plus the stereo.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's less than the vinyl, holds more value
Yeah.
because getting into the next stage of this conversation.
Are you saying the vinyl is worse?
Am I?
How dare you?
I'm gonna put it this way. The first time I got my hands, my filthy paws, on my first vinyl was when I finally got myself my copy of The Dark Side of the Freaking Moon
Yes.
on vinyl.
Yes.
Being an idiot, I put it on the because I fixed my old Rampass record player, the vinyl player. It wasn't broken, but it wasn't working. So it was simply a matter of swapping cables and stuff. Nothing major, right?
Yeah.
So I set it up. I was very excited. I put it on, dropped the needle. Like, look at this. I go like, and of course it was a brand new vinyl.
Yeah.
So no wear and tear.
Yeah.
Like I heard like, oh, this is the analog sound. Yeah, and it took. I was suspected. I thought it was clean. Wherever. The freaking album begins. But if you know how the Dark Side of the Moon begins,
Yeah.
quiet
Very quiet.
for a
Kinda
good
stretched out, yeah.
chunk of time.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there with my whiskey in my hand, enjoying the noise, the electrical noise, and since my brain, my idea of the sound of the record was from the digital files,
Yeah, pristine.
clean,
Yeah.
zero noise, I was buggered, totally distracted from the music by the sound of the freaking electricity going through my vinyl player.
Yeah.
And then the music finally kicks in. Like, oh. It's not that big of a difference.
You don't know how to enjoy music.
But then, but there's some warmth to it. Yeah, and it's a great record. But then, like, it's high pitch. Wait a minute. And since it wasn't my first rodeo, I know that player have different speeds. Why? For singles and LPs and EPs.
Yeah.
So the smaller the record, the faster it has to go, right?
Yeah.
So it's high pitch. Could it be that I set it up incorrectly? No. The hell?
What
That-
happened then?
Me. Because I recently listened to the rendition of those songs
Yeah.
from the live record blues.
Yes.
They are half step down
Yes.
because they're old.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, yeah, okay, so that's me. That's me. But then, okay, breathe in the air. Truck, truck. So I was, my attention was more on the sound coming from the left side, because you saw me looking at that side. It was that annoying that the record finished. So I had to do those with Peru,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Like, finally happened. Oh fuck! This is. Where does it begin? Damn it! Finally nail it.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah. Literally.
Yes. I felt exhausted when the album was over. After Eclipse,
Yeah.
this is way too much effort.
But that's the beauty of it. Come on, man.
Okay. Am I doing that every single freaking time you want to enjoy a whiskey while listening to music? You're gonna be tired after the fourth attempt. And you're like, I'm gonna get back to my CDs.
Look. In defense of vinyl, and I'm not gonna be full on defending it because there's quite a lot of romanticizing regarding
And look,
vinyl.
you have seen, I got a good chunk of vinyl
Yeah.
lying around, man.
Because I see a lot of people, for instance, saying that it sounds better. That's bullshit. It doesn't sound better. Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah, let's say it as it is.
There is value to vinyl, and I think the value to vinyl is a little bit more ritualistic. It's the most physical of all of the presentations of music, even that you said, the whole thing about putting the needle, also swapping the sides, all of that makes you a little bit
Landing
more.
correctly.
It allows you, it gives you the opportunity to be a little bit more involved in the process,
Yes.
which has value. I think that's actually one of the best ways to enjoy music, not because it sounds better, not because it's more practical, actually because of the opposite. Because of the medium being a little bit more complex, it requires more moving parts. It does require you to be more involved in it, and it puts you in the moment.
But
That's why I think there is quite a lot of charm to the whole experience involving vinyl.
I agree, man. But back in my iPod days, it was the same. It was even the feeling of it. That thing is properly designed.
Yeah.
Finding the album I wanted to listen to, boom. So good. It was basically the same, but proper. Of course, it was low resolution audio, but proper. Now, here's a comment.
Yes.
Roman coming with this. He says that I think the purest music listeners will go with Atmos. Interesting take.
Yeah.
But those that don't care about an enhanced sound won't care too much for Atmos. In my opinion, Roman, I think the people who will, the purest quote unquote, I gotta add that, listener are the ones who are gonna stick to stereo.
Why?
Because is the. Have you heard that? Think in terms of the Dark Side of the Moon, or a record you consider to be one of the best sound records ever, okay?
Yeah.
And that's an open question for everybody. Do you think you can do something better than that?
I don't.
The vast majority of people who truly care for that sound think the same way.
Yeah.
I, for one, fall in that camp as well. I think the ultimate sound is going to be stereo for the foreseeable future, because for as long as those records are still the golden standard of audiophile or high quality recorded music, stereo is going to be king.
Yeah.
That's why it's not going away. The thing is this. Atmos is little by little becoming mainstream. Not, it's already mainstream, but it's little by little becoming the new standard.
Yeah.
How far are we into it becoming full on the standard? My head, I want to throw my head at, let's say, 5 years.
Let me add a comment when it comes to this.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why I think I kind of disagree with the Roman stance on the whole thing.
How dare you?
Atmos not being adopted. The thing is, the way that it's being played, Atmos adoption is not being an active adoption.
No.
People are not choosing Atmos.
No, you don't even know that you're blasting Atmos.
Yeah, because I say 90% of music listened to in Atmos is not by people that actually went there and made it be Atmos.
Yes.
And that's why I do think Atmos is going to be standardized, but because the industry is going to be pushed in that direction in a way that basically is going to happen either people want it or not.
Yes. And I think maybe the composer in my head, and knowing allegedly how to mix music,
Allegedly being a keyword
in a
here.
keyword, makes me excited by the possibilities of breaking the boundaries of left and right
Yeah.
when it comes to writing and producing music, because for the first time it can translate even into headphones, man.
Yeah.
And I truly recommend any of you who have never tried and you own a pair of those Apple headsets, either the AirPods or the big ones, turn on Atmos and go for a record you know, and a good sound record for that matter, please.
Yeah.
If I may recommend, check ABC's Legs on Flop. The entire album is fantastic, and I think it's a very easy, digestible kind of music. It's kind of this new romantics, kind of 80s progressive pop.
It's good music, man.
It's good music, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. Yeah, but I'm just trying to describe it for those who are not into it.
Yeah.
And listen to it carefully. You're gonna be hard pressed to truly see the difference between the stereo at the beginning and the Atmos. But after a few minutes, you're okay. Wait a second, because the mix is not doing the gimmicky. Whoa, doing the look at me.
It's now on top of you.
Yeah, look there.
Yeah.
No. It's actually cleverly done. It adds this sense of it's a stereo plus.
Yeah.
It feels very dramatic.
Yeah, it's more involving.
Yes, and actually, you truly, if you close your eyes, you truly start to. There is a much more exciting experience. I don't know how to
Yeah.
describe it, but it's only when you're dealing with a properly mixed Atmos record. There are not that many. Another one, try that one by Peter Gabriel. That one is amazing.
Yeah.
And incredibly enough, Rebel Jail.
Yeah,
Rebel
which you
Jail.
don't necessarily expect it to
Me neither.
benefit from.
That must be like Rebel Jail.
Yeah,
Badass album, great song, but
the thing is, straight to the point, badass music.
just a bam.
Yeah,
Isn't it amazing?
it's awesome.
Look, I can't believe it's not butter.
Because, for instance, one of the first things I listened to in Atmos was some of the mixes in Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon,
Yes.
and it kind of makes sense with more atmospheric
Yeah,
stuff.
because
Y-
it's a tried and true.
Yeah, and you can see the application of the concept of Atmos a little bit better. But when it's okay, Rebel Yell, such a straightforward face fronting.
Almost punk.
You can even it's a face fronting song.
It is.
What is to be gained to make it more expensive?
It does.
Lot?
A lot.
A lot. The
A
experience
lot.
is way better.
Yeah, we're not trying to sell into the idea of getting into Atmos. We're just trying to actually try to give it a chance for real. Because you'll see that, especially in headphones, because the vast majority of people will have access to an Atmos rig on that format.
Yeah.
It's a better experience.
Yeah.
It truly is when you deal with a proper mix, because you have to be very careful with that. You cannot describe reality by the product of its accidents. That's sophism, and we don't do that here. But secondly, you should be aware that a good chunk of the quality of a record is the mix itself. It's the process, the record itself. It's not the format, it's not the headphones or the system, the preamp, whatever. Don't fall for the audiophile bullcrap. It's more about the quality. It begins with the mix. It begins with the recording. It begins with the composition. And it's not just, I'm rocking the highest resolution format I could find.
Yeah.
No, dude.
To listen to reggaeton.
Reggaeton, or shitty music in general. No, it's the composition itself what actually sets the thing in motion, okay?
Yeah.
So those recommendations, I can attest to those. I can truly recommend those as great examples of a great sounding Atmos mix.
Yeah.
How I found more? Yes, but not to the degree that I would consider them to be great contenders for justifying the existence of Atmos. Now, here I'm here saying, well, it seems if Atmos will be king of standards, then we should be spending money on music since it's only going to sound better. That's the thing. You should, and this is probably the core of the message for today's. Music that sounds good should be something to be protected.
Yeah.
And the way the people who are not creating music that can help help in the efforts of protecting good music is by investing on good sounding stuff, man.
Yeah.
Because for a good chunk of our time, and that's probably the result of the success of the iPod and MP3 in general.
Yeah.
We normalized the use of shitty sounding file formats.
Yeah.
Music stopped sounding good. It became kind of the standard for just having music playing rather than caring for the sound of the music you listen to. For those of you old enough to remember what the difference is between a 96 kilobytes per second MP3 when compared to a 256 kilobytes per second MP3, the difference is staggering.
You can actually hear it. That's the difference. You can actually hear it.
It's badly.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And the same happens when you go from an MP3 to a lossless format, such as FLAC or WAP, which is taking us to the next and final step of this conversation.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. Atmos is a good idea, but stereo is never gonna go away. And you're saying that the stereo is gonna be king, and it's the one for audio quality, right? Yes. So, where can I begin? Great question, Timmy. The first thing, you can either get this, or be careful when you sail the waters, the seas of the sun.
Yeah.
And great song by Bruce Dickinson. But what kind of format? I already mentioned MP3. Don't do that. It sounds like gas.
Heresy.
It's heresy. Because we, in this dubious organization, promote the use of proper audiophile formats, such as DSD. Of course not. So, we promote the use of FLAC, which stands for, do you know what it stands for?
No, I actually don't.
Free Lossless Audio Codec. It's actually...
I'm sold.
Yes. You got me with free.
Yeah.
Because it is actually open source. FLAC, okay? So, how to get FLAC files. Go to Bandcamp. As Josh said at the beginning, the newer stuff, buy it, please, and buy it straight from the artists themselves. A good resource is Bandcamp. I always try to, whenever I have a chance, I promote Bandcamp. I'm not affiliated to them in any way, shape, or form, but it's a great storefront.
Yeah.
Because it actually sells a good chunk of the obscure good shit, if not everything, is there. Such as Olber. The entirety of Olber, Reincarnation, Pain of Salvation, of the good shit that we always mention that we never review.
Yeah.
Because if I dare to review one of those albums, nobody watches those freaking videos.
For the true fans.
Yeah, for two fans that will, wow! Yeah, that's why I stopped promoting that kind of great, whatever.
Yeah, I think we can bring in the music that doesn't suck. We can dedicate some time.
We already dedicated to Symphony X last week, which is
Yes.
one of those bands. And sadly, those Sons of Gun are not on Bandcamp. They are on freaking Cobos. So Cobos.
Which is limited to some locations.
Yeah, but have you ever heard of the it starts with B and then P and National?
Yeah.
Yeah, you use one of those and you're off for races.
Yeah.
Just use the first letter for each of the words I said. So with that, you can bypass geolocation,
Yeah.
and you can totally don't recommend using the Seattle one. That's the way that works. So, use Seattle, and you can buy from Seattle. Cobos.
Yeah.
How much? $10 the album on FLAC
Yeah.
or WAV, which is the standard for CD.
Yeah.
And the thing is this: you can buy CD quality or more.
Would you buy more?
I don't know. Would you? I think you might have something to say regarding that.
Yeah, one of these days here, I actually had the eye-opening experience to listen to a DSD file.
Holier than thou.
It was
blessed.
it was a moment of revelation, being very honest. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, DSD is a format that wasn't massive.
Direct stream something.
Yeah, it wasn't massively adopted
No,
because I think people couldn't handle the truth.
it was way too good. We didn't deserve it.
Is that the files are
Huge.
considerably heavier because they actually hold more data.
Yes, indeed.
So if it holds more data, it should be better, right?
Of course, and also, they don't. Your Mac is unable to play those files natively. You gotta use a special software.
Yes.
But your Windows computer can, because they were produced using SEO, which is ASIO.
Yeah.
Yeah, DSD. You remember that? Yes.
Yeah.
And Super Audio CD was the format for DSD. What was your experience?
So-
Because you were blasting the only good John Mayer record,
Yeah.
the first one,
That's Room for Squares, right?
Room for Squares.
Yes. It's a great sounding album.
Fantastic.
And when I listened to it in DSD,
You felt like half of your body left your
no, I felt exactly how I felt when I listened to it the first time
on CD.
on CD, because it was great sounding,
Yeah.
and it still was great sounding,
Yes.
and that was it.
And it's not that I'm bragging, but he listened to it on my mixing rig, and my mixing rig is actually good.
Yeah. So DSD difference is probably there, but honestly, how many people can hear it?
Mathematically speaking, is huge, the difference.
No, but we're talking now.
But audibly
perceived-
speaking, perceived difference.
Yeah.
No, it's a joke, man.
Yes.
It's a joke. I say it here, and without any form of remorse. Why? Because I don't want to get into the math behind PCM, which is the standard for WAV files and most of digital sound. And DSD uses a DSD codec. It's a completely different technology, has different features, but in all fairness, and being very frank and being as straightforward as I can be, I'm going to put it this way. Every professionally produced record, 98% of them are produced under PCM, not DSD.
Yeah.
Files, they're digital recordings. Okay, why? Because PCM is very much the standard because it's easy to work with. You
Yeah.
can manipulate the files very easily without issues. In contrast, DSD, there is only one software suite that I know of that records and can handle DSD files as if you were working with Pro Tools or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's called Pyramix, or Pyramix, I don't know the pronunciation. But well, the fact that the entirety of the industry is actually working on Pro Tools, Logic, Cubase,
Yeah.
so on and so forth, and not Pyramix tells you many things.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's stop beating around the bushes. And also, in order for you to rock the DSD file format, you need to have a proper converter, which is a good point for us to introduce that.
Yes.
Okay. Let's say that you totally legally acquired your files. Let's say that you got a CD burner. Do you remember those?
A CD burner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you can still buy one for less than $20. You get one of those, and then you rip your CDs. First thing, rip them on FLAC. Why? It's a smaller file format, and this is where the whole notion of bigger is better is not true. And it contains, at a mathematical level, the same amount of frequencies, information, and audio information as the uncompressed, unflagged, the WAV file
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And you can truly not hear the difference. You cannot. It sounds beautiful if it's properly procured, of
You
course.
cannot believe it's not butter.
Basically speaking, that's what happens.
Yeah.
So rip them with what? There are plenty of tools. I recommend XLD. Just look it up. Go to your Google machine or wherever and type down XLD FLAC. And that's gonna take you to a very old looking webpage, like from the early 2000s. And you're gonna download the XLD program, which is free. That allows you to rip the CDs, but also scrape information from websites such as Music Brains and Discogs. Great sources for information for any of you who would like to know the details of the production of the records you like. Both are fantastic.
Yeah.
So you can scrape the data, so as soon as the rip is finished, your files will contain the metadata, images, and words. The internet reference. So,
Yes.
you got your files. I wanna rock. Like Twisted Sister. So, how to rock? Where would you put them? On your phone? Are you crazy?
What are you?
Where are you? An Arworth? Because I don't know if I can say that today, but you know what I mean? It's like like late, like tart, but whatever. So, yeah. Or would you use a proper goddamn device? Why I don't recommend the phone, first and foremost. We already said that wireless sucks. Why? Wireless requires your sound to be compressed before it hits the wireless setup.
Yeah.
Which means that regardless of you rocking DSD,
The almighty
the
format.
almighty, the one that ruled them all,
Yeah.
to rule them all, you're gonna ruin it by beaming it through wireless headphones.
Yes.
So that's where your DSD glory ends.
Yeah.
So how to use it? With a tried and true wire.
Yeah.
Can you plug it in here? No.
Yeah.
That's where you need to add an attachment. And that's where you start to ask many questions about your life choices. Why would you spend money on something like that? Really. I'm going to tell you a sad tale. Once upon a time, I went to a gym that has terrible music and it's loud as all F. So I decided to put an end to that by getting a pair of earbuds, the ones from Apple. Because I thought, okay, the noise cancelling function could save my ass from being blasted by horrible music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked for a while. Because one of those piece of crap, because I was about to say something way worse, decided to no longer charge
Yeah.
after 6 months of usage.
Yeah.
So they died. They're true death. Well, only one. But what's the point?
Yeah.
So you can imagine how much I enjoyed that moment.
Yeah.
That was the final nail in the whole modern world bullshit in my life. It really pushed me. It was
Yeah. That's what radicalized you.
I was already marching. The next day I was already raising my arm and marching on the streets. But, like Roman style. But the thing is this. I decided, okay, let me get a dongle. But it's for gym. I'm gonna buy a freaking converter.
Yeah.
Like, those guys go for almost $400.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna buy one of these because for the gym, right?
Yeah.
So I went for a cheap dongle, and I loved it for a while because that piece of junk died. It's true that as well. Like 4 months later. But I paid for it like $20, like $10. So
Yeah, well.
yeah, but you know, I knew
you
it.
got what you paid for.
I knew it, but whatever. But that put me into considering this. I'm wasting too much money paying for data plans that I only use for music consumption. I already have my totally legally acquired files. A good chunk of them on DSD. I wanna be blasted by the glory, the might of DSD
Yeah.
at the gym.
Yeah.
And I can show the plebs who's boss and impress girls. Or amigos like, ooh, he's rocking DSD. Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, that, ooh, yeah. Wow, he's using DSD. Wow. So, what if I just buy a goddamn proper iPod? They don't sell them anymore. Yeah.
Damn.
Damn, wow, what a revelation. The thing is like, oh, Apple, stop producing those. There has to be something, right? It's not something. Which one? It's way bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
Beyond my understanding. Of course, you went in. My first reaction was like, let's go to Amazon. Just to see how much they're going to be price gouging me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and look at that, they're not that expensive. I'm like, oh, what kind of brand is that? Makes me think of the East. So, oh no, I won't put my money on that.
Yeah.
And then, Sony, let's see. It's a little bit more expensive. Expensive in the sense of $300. Okay. Not being the nerd that I am, I know in my shit, okay, what kind of converters? Very important. Converters. What is converter, Thiago?
So, audio exists in the real world as
Waves.
sound waves,
Yes.
which is analog
Yes.
in nature. For audio to be understood by machines, it needs to be turned into digital content.
Yes.
So there's a process of conversion that
Yes.
happens
Yeah.
for the analog audio to become digital, and for you to listen to it, it needs to become analog again.
Yes.
So there's
Really
also another conversion happening there.
Yes. And depending on the quality of the converter,
Yeah.
the better the conversion happens.
Yes.
Total. Look at that. Engineer. So, being the nerd that I am, I started to see the quality of the converters, and then power. Because let's say that I want to listen to Scorpions. I need a proper powerful preamp so I can hear my pre-power ballads correctly, right?
Of course.
Yes, my pre-power ballads correctly. So, why is it important? Because depending on the kind of headphones you're going to be rocking, earbuds or headphones, especially bigger headphones, cans, you will need more or less power. It's always better to have more. Why? Because it allows for options. So, you gotta be very careful with the selection of your DAP, because that's the terminology. Go to Amazon, look for a DAP, and there, the one that I think I'm gonna get for myself for the gym is the Sony A306. Look at that! I even remember the freaking. It's like this. It's like half the size of the iPhone.
Yeah.
How many hours do you think it's gonna rock in between charges?
In between charges, if it's comparable to an iPhone, I'd say 20 hours.
Almost 30 of continuous playback.
For real? Okay. Yeah. And who's gonna listen to 30 hours of music?
No, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be charging that bad boy probably once per month.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah.
And also, I will pay less for my plan.
Yeah.
6 months later, the thing already paid for itself.
Yep. Yeah.
Look at that. And also, granting me access to my DSD collection. God damn, on the go.
Yeah.
So, but you might be saying, but isn't that kind of intro level? It is. $300, and the pair of headphones that I use are Ethymotic, very inexpensive. They are. You can get a good pair of. They're very good sounding. Coming from the jackass that I am. How much are they? Like $100,
I think it's
120 something, right?
30. Yeah.
Very good. I got my first pair of those for live shows. I actually use them because they have a very good isolation function.
Yeah.
Not noise canceling. actual isolation.
The acoustic isolation.
Acoustic. So it actually protects your ears from actual loud sources, unlike the thing that is tricking your brain into thinking that it's not as loud. Those, with less than $400, I got a kick-ass DSD powered solution for my gym. But then, being the purist, let's go down the pretentious audiophile route.
Yeah.
Let's say you got like, I don't know, $4,000 laying around, which is actually little money for the audiophile game.
Yeah. When you go down that rabbit hole, you might be very surprised in what you find on the other side.
You're gonna be even disappointed.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell is going on with these people? Yeah, I recommend the Stellan Kern Can Ultra. That's the one I'm gonna get. But that's for my own personal uses at my place. And I'm gonna pair it with a pair of headphones. The Odyssey, the one everybody likes, LCD 2.
Yeah.
Planar magnetic headphones. What are those? Is the kind of headphones that is very loud for everybody around you. But in your head, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the tonality, the sound signature is kind of warm, which is a little bit. It's very different from my usual listening experience because the gear I got here is flat.
Yeah. It's supposed to be clinical.
It's clinical.
Yeah.
So I want to stray away as much as possible from those, that kind of environment.
Yeah.
And you were also aiming for those, some of those, right?
Yeah.
You got the Hy-Vee?
The Meze.
The Meze. You got a pair of those, right?
Yeah, the Classics 99.
That's those are very common. They look amazing.
Yeah, they look very good, and they're actually very good indeed. They are a little bit on the dark side, not too dark.
Mm-hmm.
The bass is a little bit hyped. Not in a way that's going to be problematic, but you can see that it's not faithful.
Mm.
It's not transparent.
It's exciting.
It's exciting, and actually makes for a very enjoyable listening experience.
Yes.
Yeah, I recommend it because
Yes.
actually the price point is the entry level for getting something good.
But I think it's already there for the 95% of people.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
way too good.
yeah,
It's way too good, and converter wise, I would recommend you the Hy-Vee R4, the one that looks like a condom.
yeah.
Or if you have a little more money, there is another one, the R6. That's big, man.
Yeah.
That's everything but portable. We're talking like big chunks like this
Yeah.
with this thick.
Damn.
But that guy powers basically every headphone.
Mhm.
It has plenty of juice, and actually the converters is basically like a totally legally distinct response to the Stellan Kern that I like.
Okay.
Even the look sort of. But wherever. So yeah, that will be the way for you to get access to your totally legally acquired file collection.
Yes. DSD preferably.
Easy as well. Look at that. And the benefits, of course, well, you're not using your phone for something that is banal in nature, which is listening to music. I know, but why am I saying banal? This thing can save your life. Communication.
Yeah.
Music can save your soul, but it's different. And you will usually have music will save you in moments in which communication is not needed.
Yeah.
But music can do shit when you truly need to have to make a phone call, right?
Yeah.
So, or finding your way around through using the maps. That's what this thing is all about.
Yeah.
So I recommend you getting something akin to that.
Yeah.
Do you have to invest a lot of money? No.
Not really.
No, not really. It's just you can begin with a good. Just look for DAPs. There are plenty of channels here on YouTube that you can watch that are specialized on this whole thing. Of course, everybody's trying to sell something, right?
Yeah.
But do your own research, and you will see that. Oh, wait a second. I can get this like in $500, and I'm already rocking a very good system.
And you don't need to start with the ultimate setup. as well.
No,
You
no,
can
please
escalate.
don't do that, man.
But look, one thing, and this I already kind of lead this into what can be my final comment.
Yes.
We're having this conversation because we care for music, right?
Yes, we do.
We are people that we see value in music.
Mm-hmm.
Or we as human beings, and the way that things are right now, we have our understanding of value extremely attached to the idea of money.
Yes.
Even though value is not dictated by money, but there's a very big correlation in the way that we understand those things.
That point is incorrectly merged.
Yeah. So, why wouldn't we be willing to put money in something that we tell ourselves that we hold in high value?
Yeah.
I think if we treat music as a hobby or even something deeper to you, I think it's only fitting, it makes sense that you will try to make the most out of it in every way possible.
And get the best out of it.
Yeah, be it in being the owner of your music, then on another note, trying to have the music in the best possible presentation of it, the files, and also having the best way to listen to it. I think caring for those things are not necessarily a luxury. Of course, they are, because they are not a necessity.
No, but I get you. It's not. If you're getting into music for real,
Yeah.
it's not a luxury. It's a must.
Yeah, because in the end, if you have any other hobby, you know that you need to expend some money to try to get the most out of it, because that's basically applies to anything.
Yep.
Why wouldn't it be the same for music? I just think we got used to the format of simply and being thrown whatever, and we listen it whatever format because we don't care, in whatever speakers because whatever is laying around, and that's not really, is a disservice to what music has to offer. To be very honest.
Indeed.
I think that if you want to get the most out of music, it's not about putting money into music. It's just about investing yourself first, and putting money is a way to do that.
Yep, indeed.
So, outside of the conversation of getting better stuff, I think the willingness to invest in music is something that should be more widely accepted, because we simply got used to taking music for granted, and I think it's one of the reasons why music got bad as well.
Yeah, because there is no incentive for through competition.
Yeah.
There is no true inspiration, because music is considered by many people today, but gladly to see that younger generations are no longer seeing it as background noise.
Yeah, little by little starting to
and the fact that regardless of whoever those fifth elements are, you begin somewhere, man. I began with Limp Bizkit, so
Damn.
I think his niece is in a way better spot than me. So the redemption is attainable.
Yeah.
So the moral of this story is that you truly, I encourage you, every single one of you watching, to truly start to take your ownership of everything you do. Because if it's already they are testing the waters with cars. Why is it that happening? It's because they already see that people are already kinda surrendering to the idea of never owning shit. So don't let them get away with that. And the best way to stick it to the man is by claiming what is yours. So if you need to explore the high seas, so be it. Like, stick it to the man. And also that ownership will give you, and this is also even proven, man, there is some form of psychological effects that happens, or chemical even reactions in the brains when it comes to buying something or acquiring something, because you put effort, the thrill of the hunt, finding it, downloading it, realizing that it's not loaded with crap that you didn't expect, and then realizing that it's actually the music you were looking for, like satisfaction, and create there are neurons activated in your monkey brain, and there's a memory now created, with a positive feeling attached to those guys, to the sound. So and now with that you own the music, you will feel finally once again more inclined to listening to the record.
Yeah, true.
Not to single songs because Taylor Swift told you to listen to that one only. All because Taylor Swift decided just to produce one track that you should care for, and the rest is clearly filler. So the whole experience changes. Your relationship with music will change. And therefore, or as a result, your relationship with the artist behind the music you love will change as well. Because you're going to create a much more deeper connection. At a metaphysical level, of course, because it's not that Taylor Swift is going to talk to you. But if you have these moments, and let's say these guys, Roman's niece, these high five guys, keep changing the name. Those guys, wherever, those five fives, those guys, she's creating a deep memory.
Yeah.
And I can assure you that a good chunk of the reason why people love the legacy acts so much is because they were there
Yeah.
and they went through this.
Yeah.
They fought to get the last copy of 221. That never happened. But the last copy of Thriller.
Yeah.
And imagine the kid that got out victorious.
Yeah. The other day it's go, I have it, you don't.
Yeah. And also that guy's a hero
Yeah.
because he came back next day at the school. I got it.
With his Discman.
Yeah, no, Vinyl Man.
Are you talking about
Thriller Man, it's Thriller. No, the Discman happened later, and that Discman was only for those who were rich men at the beginning.
The thing that now, the thing that you were mentioning is actually a Discman, right?
The Sony one is a Walkman.
It's a Walkman.
It's a Walkman.
Yeah,
It's even older, man.
Yeah.
And it has a particularly fun thing that I truly want to get just for that very reason. When you play any file, the screen changes.
Yeah.
And it displays. Let's imagine that this is the player, right?
Yeah.
The whole screen swaps for a cassette tape. But
Yeah.
depending on the quality or the format you're rocking, the cassette tape changes. So if you get an MP3, it's going to be the lowest based on Sony's history of quality of the tape they produced across the years. So,
But if it's DSD,
but if it's a DSD, god damn,
Damn.
it's the one used for master tapes and it did that.
yeah.
Well, recording shit. So yeah, take some.
So yeah, look, just as a final comment,
This is the Lord of the Rings or whack.
the extended the director's cut.
Yeah, the ending to the ending to the end. Yes.
No, just summary. Buy your stuff. Just simple as that. You will see.
Get your stuff.
Well, now not necessarily talking about music.
No, how about if I think we can
Procure your stuff.
own your stuff.
Own your stuff, probably.
Okay. Own your stuff.
Yeah. Give music the value that it deserves.
Yes. By owning it,
Yes.
no matter how.
And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Come on.
Chip.
Leave a like because it's been an hour and a half talking about the value of music.
Yes.
And the value of our time.
For them. And don't, for God's sake, don't use MP3, only FLAC and WAV files, please. And DSD.
Yeah,
of course,
Of
DSD.
So we do this on a weekly basis. We have conversations about music in all of its different nooks
darkness.
and crannies, and we invite you to be a part of it. So if you haven't subscribed to your channel yet, subscribe and ring the bell. That way you can be here for the next conversation, and we would love to have your input as we converse.
Yes, and if you happen to own a DAP or any form of hi-fi setup, please let us know in the comment section because
Yeah.
I'm always in the lookout for changing my mind because I haven't pulled through yet, but I'm very soon
Yeah.
close to it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do something like shit.
I should have gone to that
Yeah,
one.
exactly. So we'll share with the thought police. So with that
Yes.
being said, thanks for joining, thanks for watching. As I said every single time that we need you, we gotta remind you that you should never let anybody tell you what to dream about. And remember that we'll see ya. We'll see ya. Yeah, we gotta make it. We gotta turn it into a recurring joke.
I'm not the same. I'm more annoyed.